welcome to Out of the Park 18 and a new series with the 1962 New York Mets. We've just finished the expansion draft and we have set up our team, and here we are. So let's take a look at our team. Some of these names will sound familiar. They actually did play for the Mets in 1962, like Frank Thomas. Our first pick was second baseman Jim Gilliam out of the Dodgers organization. So Junior Gilliam will be our second baseman. He was our first pick. Ed Charles, I believe. I know Felix Mantilla played for the Mets in 62. This is our team. As far as the lineup is concerned, let's take a look at our pitching staff. We got Don Lee, Hank Aguirre, Cal McLish, Ed Rackell, and Tom Cheney in the rotation to start out. And you can see our relievers that we have. And down in the minor leagues, we've got a whole list of players here. Charlie Lau in the minor leagues. So obviously our minor leagues are pretty bare so far. What we're going to do is I just want to check and make sure we're okay here as far as getting the game started. We're going to go ahead and advance to free agency here in a minute, which actually there is no free agency, but when teams start releasing some players, and that we'll have a draft here in December. So let's go ahead and go to the draft pool announcement. So what I did was I simmed 1961 up until the end of the season, and we started the expansion draft here in late 1961 for the 62 season. So we're going to build up the Mets and see what happens. You can see there in the World Series in 61, the Pirates were the World Series champions in 7 games over the Chicago White Sox. Let's go ahead and, okay, we got the draft pool announcement. So let's see who's in the draft pool. The draft pool, here we go. Coming up in December. We want to see who's Rico Petrocelli, Roy White, Ferguson Jenkins, Davey Johnson, Jim Lefevre, Rusty Staub, Jim Wynn, Bert Campaneris. So you can see some of the names there that's going to be available for us to take in the draft. So we're going to start. We're going to build up the team. We're going to start in 1962. We'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and play to the winter meetings start. We'll see if we get any trade offers. Looks like we've got some trades being made as we speak. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the Hall of Fame. Voting begins. Let's see who's on the ballot for this year's Hall of Fame selections. Here we go. Hall of Fame voting. Let's go ahead and vote for the Hall of Fame. See what players. Okay, let's see here. As far as Hall of Bob Feller, his first year on the ballot. I think Bob Feller is a good choice for the Hall of Fame. He's going on the ballot. And let's see here. What other players stick out? I'm probably going to miss Johnny Mize, his second year on the ballot. We're going to put Johnny Mize on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. Ken Raffensperger, I don't think so. Let's see. Hal Trotsky, no. Rudy York. That's an interesting idea, but think we'll go with those guys. I don't know if I've skipped anybody. Going back through the list here, that's deserving of a Hall of Fame vote. Hal Newhouser had a good career. 2 Most Valuable Player awards, 7-time All-Star. Johnny Sane. Let's go with those 2. We'll submit the ballot. Yep. Okay, here we go. First year player draft. And as we wait for the database to load. Okay, first year draft. All right, I'll be back in 1 second. And we're back. So here we are in the Major League Baseball draft. We have the first pick, followed by Houston, and then the Senators, Cardinals, and Athletics. Let's go ahead and continue the draft. So we have the first pick out of everybody. Do we go with Ferguson Jenkins as our first pick, 19 years old, out of Canada? Do we go with Jim Wynn? I think the best thing to do is go with the pitching. So let's go with Ferguson Jenkins. He will be our first pick. Let's draft him. And let's just see how the draft has gone so far. Houston selects Rusty Staub. The Senators, Jim Wynn. The Cardinals, Petrocelli. Kansas City, Davey Johnson. And so on, as you can see on down the line. The Yankees get Bert Campaneris. Paul Blair to the White Sox. So we're back with the second pick in the draft. And do we go with Ed Kranepool, who was drafted by the Mets? Or do we go with, what about Jim Britton here? 17 years old. I think we need to go with a little bit more punch, a little bit more offense. What about Paul here? That could be an interesting pick. However, I think we are going to go with Ed Kranepool. Who's this down here? Mike Hagan? Let's go with Ed Kranepool and see what happens. And let's go ahead and take a chance on Jim Britton with our third pick. Let's get a scouting director recommendation. Jerry. I don't know about him. What about Grant Jackson? Let's take Grant Jackson. And I'm going to let the computer finish the draft. Yep. We've received a personal message. Okay, here's our goals from owner Jake Weaver. Don't suck completely. Upgrade at right field. Keep building your team up in order to reach the playoffs in the next 3 seasons. Wow. Let's go ahead and negotiate with these guys. Let's see. Ferguson Jenkins wants $100,000. Fine with me. Kranepool wants $28,400. Jim Britton. He's it looks like he's gonna be very difficult to sign. So let's just offer him $75,000 and see what happens. We've got Grant Jackson. We are going to sign him. Thomas Purdue. And What happened here? I must have hit a button wrong. Oh, you're over our draft budget. Let's go. All right. These guys are going to be too hard to sign. All right, here we go. Let's finish today. We've received a personal message. Jim Britton. He will re-enter the draft next year. That's fine. We'll see ya. All right, so the Rule 5 draft. Let's check our roster. I guess we're going to have to put all these guys on the 40-man roster. Let's go ahead and do that. George Brunette, he's out 5 to 6 months. All these guys are going on the 40-man. He's already on the 40-man. Okay, anybody else? I think that's it. I got 36 guys. I don't think we need to put any of these guys on the 40-man. Okay. I do want to set up my manager settings. Let me double check my personnel before I move on. Okay. We're fine. All right, let's go back to our team control. There are some things that I want to do and some things I'm going to let the assistant GM do. Let's see, I believe the rest of it, yes. Okay. All right, so here we go to the Rule 5 draft. Might be able to pick up a player in the Rule 5. Ferguson Jenkins says yes. Crane Pool says yes. All right, are we finally at the Rule 5 draft? Yes. Rule 5 draft. All right. Do we have anybody possibly here? Let's see. Robert Shosty. Who is that? And do we want to take him? I'm not sure about that. I'm more... I think we're going to take Jim Umbrick. Yep. Let's continue. All right, we'll take him. Joe Gaines, center fielder. That'll be 3 players that we've picked up in the Rule 5. Yeah, let's skip the pick. I'm done drafting players in Rule 5. All right, so here we go. Draft pick signing. Grant Jackson, did he say yes? Yes. Another personal message. Thomas Purdue, yes. He is in. Let's see if we get any trade offers. I'm not big on offering other teams trades. Sometimes the AI, doesn't react as well as Maybe it should. I always feel like maybe I have an opportunity to take a advantage of the AI, so I don't necessarily offer the computer trades compensation picks. We have received adequate compensation picks next year. We've gotten a round 3 pick. I'm interested in the Hall of Fame results voting. And let's see here. All right, Feller. Bob Feller has been inducted into the Hall of Fame. And let's see. And that was it. Let's see the Hall of Fame voting results. So Newhouser finished with 54% of the votes. Feller 90%. And then we've got a lot of guys that were dropped because they didn't get the necessary votes. Johnny Mize got almost 11%. So those guys will be on the ballot again next year. A lot of guys were dropped. Hal Newhouser will be an interesting one. All right, so we're going to go to the preseason, and then eventually we got a trade proposal. Let's see, St. Louis. Joe Cunningham getting Cal McClish and Ferguson Jenkins. I do not think so. Reject. I'm not trading Ferguson Jenkins. All right, let's go to the preseason. Another trade proposal. Let's see if they want Ferguson Jenkins. Yes, they do. We are not trading Ferguson Jenkins to the Cardinals. Sorry, St. Louis fans. And let's see here. Preseason begins. We've got our financial update. Here's our preseason. Okay, let's simulate the spring training. And then I'm going to have the AI set up my roster, and then we'll sim through spring training. So here we go. All right, so let's see who gets hurt during spring training. Let's go ahead. Here we go. One injury. Let's go ahead and put that person on the DL. Where is he? Did I miss him? Don Wallace. What's wrong with him? Okay. Out for a week. We'll put him on the DL. Don Wallace. His diagnosis pending. Okay, let's go ahead and simulate. Okay, he's going to be out 2 weeks. All right, Don, you're on the DL. Here we go. Looks like we started off 4-2 in spring training. Jim Gilliam, our first pick in the expansion draft, out 2 weeks. He is 33 years old, but all right, here we go. Be nice if we did not have any more injuries. Okay, he's eligible to come off the DL. We'll take him off the DL. Awesome. Personal message is nice. Recovery's unclear. Opening day, let's see. He's out for 4 days. Joe Christopher. Don Wallace can come off the DL. All right, let's take him off the disabled list. Here we go, opening day. All right, Joe Christopher out for 3 months. We're going to put him on the 60-day. Actually, we got above 500 in spring training. I know it's just spring training, but interesting nonetheless. Charlie Lau, we'll leave him and see if he can recover. All right, we got a trade proposal. If they're asking for Ferguson Jenkins, it's St. Louis again, and they are. Oh, my Lord. All right, so here we go. End of spring training. We'll set up our team, and then we'll get the first game in franchise history underway. All right, the computer is generating some predictions. All right, we've received a personal message. Season expectation. Stay respectable on the field. Opening day. We got the Tigers and Senators, the Phillies and Reds. 100 prospects list published. Looking at Willie Stargell with the Pirates. The number 2 prospect, Tony Perez, on the list with the Reds. Let's see. I don't see any New York Mets on that list. All right, let's go ahead and set up our team. 25 players. All right, I think we're ready to roll. Let's check our pitching. Don Lee looks like, let's see here. Okay, let's... All right, so here we go. We're playing at St. Louis against the Cardinals. Game 1 in franchise history. And on the mound is going to be Hank Aguirre facing against Bob Gibson. Their starting lineup: Ed Charles at third base, Jim Gilliam at second, John Orsino behind the plate, Wes Covington in right, Eddie Broussard at short, Felix Mantilla in center, Stan Palis in first base, Joe Gaines in left field, and Hank Aguirre is going to be on the mound. And you can see the Cardinals lineup there: Stan Musial in left field, Ken Boyer at third, and of course the big right-hander on the mound for the Cardinals, Bob Gibson. So the first game in franchise history. Here we go. Let me make sure I got everything set up the way I want it. We are going to do, let's do 3D view. Okay, make sure I got everything the way I want it. Here we go in St. Louis for game 1 against the Cardinals. Ed Charles, will he have the first hit in franchise history against Bob Gibson? Here we go. And it's a ground ball to short. He's out. So 1 out. Jim Gilliam with a pop-up in the infield. Here's John Orsino. Orsino with the first base hit in franchise history. It's a double by Orsino, the catcher. So John Orsino, let's save the ball. Let's put it in a case somewhere. John Orsino with the first hit in franchise history. Here's Wes Covington. Covington with a base hit. Yes, we're going to send Orsino. Here's the throw to the plate, and he's in there. So Wes Covington with the first RBI. Orsino the first run in franchise history. Here's Eddie Broussard. And the Mets take a 1-0 lead against Bob Gibson in the Cardinals here in 1962. Hank Aguirre facing against Patterson. There's a ground ball to third. There's 1 down. Here's Felix De Leon with a walk. Bill White with a ground ball to second. That's going to be an out. Here's Ken Boyer. Boyer with a line drive out to shortstop. That's 3 down. Here's Felix Mantilla with a base hit to center. So Bob Gibson looking a little shaky here on opening day, 1962. And there's a base hit to left. So first and second, nobody out. Joe Gaines coming to the plate. Hit 245 last year with 6 homers. There's a drive to left field. It could be, and it's gone. So the first home run in franchise history, Joe Gaines, the left fielder and the number 8 hitter, goes yard against Bob Gibson. It's 4-0. Hank Aguirre fans. Here's Ed Charles with a gapper to the wall. So the Mets are just pounding Bob Gibson here in Game 1 of the 1962 season. Here's John Orsino with a walk. Covington with a base hit to right. So Covington is 2 for 2. That's going to be 5-0 Mets. There's a walk. Felix Mantilla with a base hit to center. There's a 1 run is in. Make it 2 runs. It is 7-0. What a start for the Mets franchise. 7-0 here in St. Louis. There's a base hit by Stan the Man. Here's Javier with a fly ball to right. Jim Hickman. And that's a double play. So here we go to the third. Joe Gaines. Hank Aguirre with a ground ball in the infield. That's 2 down. Here's Ed Charles. Ed Charles with a base knock to right field. That's going to the wall. That's going to be his second hit of the ball game. And here's Junior Gilliam to end the inning. All right, Johnny Lewis, the leadoff for St. Louis, a ground ball. Here's Simpson with a strikeout, and Joe Patterson with a base hit to right. Here's De Leon. And there goes Patterson on the steal. He's safe. De Leon with a passed ball. And there's a strikeout. So John Orsino with a ground ball out. Here's Covington, 2 for 2 on the day. We'll send a fly ball to left. That's going to be an out. So Gaylord Perry on the mound now for St. Louis. There's a ground out to third base. Here's Bill White with a leadoff hit for the Cardinals. Ken Boyer will pop it up in the infield. He's 0 for 2. Here's Stan the Man Musial. Career 3,393 hits so far. And that's a line drive to the wall. No, it's caught by the left fielder, Gaines. Here's Javier with a base hit to right. And the Mets are just throwing the ball around, so the Cardinals get on the scoreboard. Here's Hickman with a ground ball in the infield. That's an out. So 7-1 score. Felix Mantilla here will lead off the inning with a walk. And there's a base hit to right. First and third, nobody out. Joe Gaines. Gaines with a fly ball to center. That's a sacrifice fly. Another RBI. 4 RBIs on the day for Joe Gaines, who we picked up in the Rule 5 draft from Cincinnati, I believe. Here's Junior Gilliam. And that ball's going to the wall. So another run is, 2 more runs are going to score. So it's 10-1, an absolute butt kicking here on opening day, 1962 by the Mets. Here's Johnny Lewis. Lewis with a fly out to center. No, it's a base hit. It drops in front of the center fielder, Mantilla. Here's Gaylord Perry with a bunt. And they get the runner out at third base. Here's Patterson with a strikeout. Aguirre's got 3 Ks on the day. De Leon with a base hit to left. Here's Bill White. Bill White with a base hit to left. So bases are loaded here in the 5th with 2 outs. That's a walk. Here's Stan Musial. Musial with a base hit to right. That's going to bring in a couple runs. I'd like for Aguirre here to finish the 5th inning. And there's a ground ball out for Javier. So 10-4 lead here. Here's Covington. He's 2 for 3. He grounds out to Boyer at third base. Eddie Broussard with a line out. Here's Mantilla, 2 for 2. And he's going to hit a drive to the right, and that ball is gone. Another home run for the Mets. So Felix Mantilla, 3 for 3 with a homer on the day. And here's a drive to center. That's going to go to the wall. The Mets have had 14 hits here so far today. Here's Gaines with another base hit for New York. So Gaines picks up his 5th RBI on the day. What a start for Joe Gaines. Hank Aguirre gets in on the hitting action with a double. 12-4. Ed Charles. That's a fly out to right. So here we go into the 6th. Hank Aguirre with 100 pitches on the day. Looking to get through the 6th, and it looks like he's going to. So a rain delay that lasted 16 minutes, it said at the top. Ron Herbel on the mound for St. Louis. Here's John Orsino, 1 for 3, make it 1 for 4. Here's Covington. Covington with a ground ball to third. So we go to the 7th inning stretch. 12-4 lead for the Mets. And there's an out. So Aguirre looking to maybe get through the 7th. He's thrown 111 pitches, and he's tired at the moment. There's 2 down. Bill White with a line out. So I think that's going to be it for Aguirre. Here's Eddie Broussard, the shortstop, with a ground ball to third. Herbel still pitching for the Cardinals. Mantilla with a pop up the center. And here's the first baseman, who's 3 for 4 on the day. All right, so we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Mets are going to make a couple changes here. Let's see. We got another first baseman. We're going to make a double switch. We want to go with Frank Thomas. Why is he not playing today? Norm Larker. What kind of first baseman is he? Yeah, let's put him in the ball game. So Norm Larker will come in and play first base in the double switch here. On the mound for the Mets, we're going to go with, let's see here. Let's go with Marshall Bridges. Marshall Bridges is going to come into the ball game for the Mets. Mets trying to make history here in game 1 of their franchise history. Marshall Bridges, a left-hander. Bridges, last year 2-2 with 4 saves. Here's Stan Musial with a ground ball to third. And Julian Javier with a gapper to the wall. Here's Hickman. Hickman with a gapper. It could be, that's over the wall, so a home run for Hickman. It makes it 12-6. There's a strikeout. And that's going to be the end of the inning. Joe Gaines, huge day for Joe Gaines. Here's Larker, his first at bat of the season. And Ed Charles with a line out. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Marshall Bridges looking to finish this up, but he walks the leadoff batter, Clemens. Here's Patterson. He'll strike out. Here's De Leon with a pop-up to right. Should be an out, and it is, so 2 down. Bill White with a ground ball to first. That is going to be the ball game. So here's the box score from the first game in Mets history. Ed Charles, 3 for 6. Mantilla, 3 for 4 with a homer. And look at Joe Gaines, 2 for 4 with 5 RBIs. The Mets start out 1-0 in their franchise history. Okay, let's check the standings here. The Mets win. And over in the American League, it looks like Leon Wagner hit 2 homers for the Red Sox. And Johnny Callison, 2 homers for the Phils. So a good start here for the Mets. We will end it there. It's going to be a long episode, about 35 minutes. I'm going to keep the episode shorter than that, but since this is the first one, and next time we come back will be sometime in the middle of April. I'm going to play some games off camera. Please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below as we continue our series here with the New York Mets. 1962. We'll see you next time. Bye.